Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about everyday carry. We're going to be doing like a pocket drop basically, and just kind of showing you what I carry on a daily basis. One thing that I carry normally is a cell phone. I think everybody carries one of these generally, and that's for basic communication. You know, if there is something that happens, some sort of an emergency, or if I have, I need to communicate with, police or fire department or medical, this is what I use to do that. Also, a good holster for your sidearm. You know, if you have an everyday carry, you're gonna need a good quality holster. I would recommend something that's Kydex. I would try to stay away from the leather because of the absorption of oils. They tend to become floppy or flimsy. And I want something that's rigid, that will hold its shape. That's a main concern due to when I holster. If I'm pulling my gun out of the holster and I need to reholster, I don't want to have to open this up or expand it in any way. So that way it's already kind of open and it's, set up, ready to accept the firearm. I also recommend 2 clips if you can do it. A lot of them will come with single clips. What this will do is it'll actually keep it from canting or tilting on your belt. For my sidearm, I decided to go with a Glock 48. I originally was carrying a Glock 19, and after carrying it for about 10 years, I realized that my back was feeling it. So I actually, through technology and pistol advancements, they've been able to come out with thinner, slimline versions of pistols that are generally the same dimensions as a full-size pistol, making it a lot easier to carry. Due to sighting advancements, I went with a red dot. I went with an EPS carry for a subcompact red dot sighting system for reflex type sighting for quick target acquisition. But I do also have backup iron sights as well, which I think is important for an everyday carry if you don't have, if your red dot is to go down. I would also recommend something that will illuminate what you're looking at. I'd say that most things that, most bad things happen at night and you can't shoot what you can't see. So being able to identify your target and it'll also take away the visual acuity of whoever you're dealing with. So if somebody's looking at you and they have a flashlight in their face, it's very difficult for them to see you. And if they can't see you, that gives you an advantage in a defensive situation. I also went with a Talon textured, almost like grip sandpaper as a grip. That way, if I do have sweaty hands, oily hands, I've got soap on my hands, or I'm washing my hands, whatever, that I can get a good purchase and on my firearm here. And other than that, I'd say that everything is stock on this. I wouldn't recommend putting in super light triggers into a everyday carry because of the reliability. When you're going to do an everyday carry pistol, I'd say there's 3 main things you need to focus on, and that would be reliability, shootability, and concealability of that firearm. So if it's reliable, I wouldn't say that getting the cheapest firearm is the best option. I would say that, looking into more reputable companies, brands, Glock, SIG, Smith & Wesson, those are kind of good options. And law enforcement and military will use those as well. So they have a track record of being reliable. Also, I used to carry an extra mag. Now I've kind of slimlined my process of doing that. So I generally carry 1 full magazine. I always carry 1 in the chamber as well. And that'll, I think that 11 rounds is enough to handle standard encounter for defensive type situations. I would say that most civilian application, defensive type situations, I don't think I've ever seen a reload happen. So the chances of you, getting to cover, reloading, re-engaging a target, you really need to be making distance from these targets. So also, I do recommend carrying some sort of a blade. Bladed weapons are good for opening boxes, Amazon packages, as well as close encounters. I would say that you can get to your knife quicker and more efficiently than you could a firearm. Within the distances of 21 feet, it's nearly impossible for somebody to draw their weapon from concealment and be able to engage somebody that has a knifed weapon. I also use it just for everyday type stuff as well. All right, keys. I got a vehicle. I would say that transportation, getting yourself to and from the problem to the solution is very important. If you can't do it, or getting someone else, being able to stop on the highway and help somebody, having some sort of medical is also good too. We live in Arizona. It's bright as hell. I can't see, or if I can't see it, I can't shoot it. And having some sort of sunglasses, I think, are important. With glare and stuff like that, you want to be able to efficiently identify what you're looking at and not have some sort of issues with being able to see. Seeing is very important. I also wear contacts. I usually carry some eye drops or something like that as well. Inside my vehicle, I usually carry some sort of medical. I would recommend that if you carry a firearm, you have some sort of medical on you. I would say that a tourniquet. This is a soft T tourniquet. We sell these downstairs. And if you, these are great for any type of combat applications. They're also a little lower profile when it comes to packaging them away. So I find that they store a little bit easier. And they also have the metal components on them, which make them a little bit more durable. Obviously, the standard cat-style combat application tourniquet will do you just fine as well. We also sell these downstairs. This is a hyphen chest seal. And this is basically if you have any wound in your chest or in your central cavity, this will help actually plug entry and exit wounds. Also, I would recommend some sort of shears. We sell these downstairs as well. If I was to be injured or something and I need somebody to help me, they have to be able to, they'll cut my clothes right off and be able to deal with the situation immediately, which is better than trying to find out problems, because generally you can't see what's going on. So being able to carry something that'll help you with that is important. I also have a nasal pathogeal airway, and that'll basically is if somebody is unconscious, allow them to have a clear airway while they're being helped or transported to medical. I also do an Israeli bandage. I would recommend something like that. It does have, I think it's got a clotting agent as well as being able to apply a compression. Keeping pressure on the wound without having to use your own hands is very important. And then some super glue and gauze, stuff like that. But that basically covers what I carry on a daily basis. I would recommend that if you do carry a firearm, that these are some of the things that you take into consideration carrying. And the people downstairs will be able to help you out with anything you need. If there is something that you're interested in picking up, you're more than welcome to ask them, and they'll be able to help you as well.